All righty, go ahead.
So today is Friday, July 28th, and it is 8:17 in the evening, and it is our Friday night update. And we had a boring week. I don't think we have anything to discuss. We might as well just say goodnight.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. So let's see. Our week started in the city, and we took about 70 retirees to Washington, D.C. Made a
tether next time.
What?
Put them on a tether next time.
We're gonna put those little cuff clips like our mothers used to put for our mittens. We had a few straying seniors. Like, what is a class trip without losing a few kids?
Right. Take accountability very seriously.
Did you let the teachers take charge of the lines? I mean,
What next time we need to have a rope and no one's hands allowed to touch off the rope?
I said a tether. That's why I said a tether.
You get one of the ropes that has like donuts on it, and if a donut is falling,
tie a figure 8 with a bite.
I don't know. It was rather crazy.
Great. We had a great time.
We did. We were with some super heavy hitters that are in the political world. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senator Katie Porter and Congresswoman DeLauro, Ro Khanna. It's just, the names were just phenomenal, of people that supported what we did. And then what we didn't know, which what I found today, was even after we left, because it was getting late and we had to get everyone to the train station, and it was a very big undertaking. And it was also getting very hot, and we needed to get the retirees out of the heat, as we were literally baking in the sun. Even in the shade, it was so hot. People were really hot. So afterwards, though, they were getting calls from other elected congressional leaders that wanted to be at our press conference. We had more people wanted to work with us. So I would say one of the things you guys need to do is start sending those letters to your congressional leaders. And I think I might retool this weekend that national letter that we wrote, put in some of these photos and links to the videos, figure out how I could do that, and then send the link for you all to send out, and start to ask your congressional leaders to get behind this, as well as ask for support in getting our state bill, because we do have a state legislation. I think it's Assembly Bill 7866 supported, as well as City Council. Get our City Council bill and show 1099 passed, and that if they're not yet able to get a federal bill passed, it's going to take at least, I think, 2 years, they told us. We should definitely start working on having them put some pressure on our local electeds to help with what we can do here. So we know that we've been very successful on the national, the local, the state, and the federal level. So that was very good. Marcia, I'm interested to hear about that, because we were told that both Gillibrand and Schumer's office refused to meet with the with the Kroc group. So let me know if that changed, but the last I had heard that they were not, no one was meeting with them. I still only have 14. We do not have more than we've had. There has been no movement, which means more of a pressure campaign needs to be made, like starting next week, on the city council members. And this is why we started to post flyers. So if you see a community event with your council person, they're holding an outdoor event, they're holding a dinner, they're holding a park event, they're holding a whatever, a walkabout, a something, they have a poster that they're going to be at, you need to post that on our page. And or give it to the moderators to post, or give it to me to post, or Michelle to post, and then we will post it and then invite all of you to attend. Michelle and I will most likely never be able to attend all of these events, but you guys are local and are easier for you to be able to attend them, and you should be bringing friends. And then Michelle, let's put on our to-do list, we need to make a palm card, like when we did those postcards around Christmas. Let's do postcards again, but let's do a palm card on some of the bullet points that they can print up and pass around. And the postcard would be super easy because you could print it out on paper or on a cardstock or whatever, and bring those, bring those with you, whether you use it as your own pocket talking point or to hand out, or both. So that might be something good, but it's summer and we're getting towards the end of summer. So you're going to start seeing them put out all sorts of events.
Right.
So that might be an idea of something that you can do absent, doing a big event with the organization. But that's something you guys can actually do on your own and be quite effective at it, because it's literally at the grassroots level. It's from all of you. So that's also kind of important. I know, and I think they're also ignoring us too. I've discussed that with our team as well, because I do believe that they are ignoring the calls. But we're trying to figure out a workaround on that. So does anyone have any questions? Because we may just call it an early night.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
It is.
And then I was on a train this morning. I'm in South Jersey.
I know. I had my treatment today, and last thing I remembered, she was like, "I'm going to push your Benadryl now," and that was it. Good night. I remember nothing.
A good friend of mine is going to pick me up at 6 in the morning and jump on a train and 2 trains and go home.
Yeah. Yeah, Pop Charlie says, we went to the Medicare birthday outside Schumer and Gillibrand's office, and they wouldn't even let us in or send out a rep. So that's why, Marcia, I heard the same thing, and Pop Charlie was there. So I don't know what you're hearing, but we were told that they didn't get any communications.
Let me write this down. Martha Cream, I've said, Channel 2 News award-winning political journalist has a show called The Point.
Yes, that's Marcia.
Right. Oh, okay. I said get on there.
Well, so everyone then call The Point and say, you want Marcia knows me. Tell them Marcia knows Marianne. Marcia should interview Marianne and bring this subject forefront and center. It's about privatization of Medicare, and she should do a show on it. And then she has my phone number. But what I could do is I can post this. I'll take a picture of that and I'll post it later. Are we just waiting for the appellate court to take up our current case? No. So Margaret, you have 3 cases currently running. You have the first case that we won in the Supreme Court. The city appealed. The first department affirmed it unanimously, and then the city appealed it again to the New York State Court of Appeals. We are waiting for a court date there. I do believe that when we do get that date, we were talking to Jake and Steve yesterday, that you should be able to attend all of these court cases. As soon as we have a date, you will know about it. The second case is the copay case. We are waiting for that to be certified as a class action. That is still in Manhattan Supreme Court. Preliminary injunction was granted. The city appealed it. The first department affirmed it again unanimously, and now we are waiting for the court case to progress on that, and for it to be certified as a class action. So George Roman, that answers your second that answers your question. We're still waiting on that. The third case is this nuclear option case. And this case, we won. The city then we won the preliminary injunction. The city filed an appeal on the preliminary injunction. And then right now there are discussions about what to do next. And so we are waiting to see what the city and our team agree to. And hopefully we will hear more about that on the next week or two. John says, hi, Marianne and all. I sent letters out to several members who I felt were getting complacent. I asked them to stay active and not depend on others. I think a letter to members would be good for all. Yes, John, as you can tell, we've been juggling a million things, and I know I do need to send out a newsletter, and we will do that this weekend. Any action on the PSC on 1099? No, and James has not answered my email back. Andrea Ram Luster, maybe we should put on the email heading extend your car warranty. Maybe they'll read it. All right, I'll change it to that.
Robocalls about the car. I like the robocalls, you know. Your warranty is up.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Margaret, love you, Miriam. My husband can relate to your Benadryl comment. Funny, not funny. I know. Well, they give me Benadryl as to act as in case I have a reaction to my treatment, which I usually do, but it also happens to knock me out, which I don't usually mind because usually when I'm tired, it lets me sleep. And of course, this time it made me pass out very quickly. And you can still tell because my eyes are swollen. Mm-hmm. Can we start writing to our elected people in Florida and other states? Yes, go right ahead. You should be writing to your federal people, telling them that Medicare Advantage should be an option. You shouldn't be forced into it. And the dangers of prior authorization being wrongfully denied and delayed affecting your care. Those would be your best talking points on that. Are you planning on writing up a template for those of us who are constituent? Janet Coburn, the template was basically that national letter that we had in Action Network, which I'll tweak a little bit this weekend. Gillibrand said she'd meet with Kroc at a last minute mention. But did she do it or didn't she?
I think she said she was going to. I think that was the whole premise of it.
Well, like that today or like in the future?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. That wasn't for you. That was for her.
No, I know that. Oh, will meet. Right. Roberta said will meet. So future.
Oh. So then a bunch of us from the org going to, no, Carol, we're still planning that. Michelle and I still have to sit down and plan about that.
Yes.
We need a Staten Island day. But it's also really way too hot to be doing this. Like I can't be doing this in 90-degree weather and neither can you. So we might need to wait till after August. I'm not really sure, but. Okay, Anna Sanchez, retiree Marilyn Jassim and I discussed Intro 1099 with Councilmember Julie Wan and her legislative director Isaac Blassenstein last night. We were at the Queen Angels Parish Town Hall meeting in Sunnyside, held to support Intro 913 to delay Local Law 97. We asked Julie to sponsor and sign on to Intro 1099, and we reminded Julie that our bill was in the committee. She insisted that it was not assigned to a committee and that it was floundering. She also said she was told by Speaker Adams and the city lawyers not to sponsor or support the bill because the bill was illegal. We asked her exactly what the objections were, and she said a list of the objections were sent to Marianne. That is a lie. No one has ever sent that, and I got to take a picture of this. That is a lie. No one has ever sent us objections, and it has never been put in writing, so they're lying to you, and she's lying to you. She said, we asked her exactly what the objections were, and she said a list was sent to Marianne. Although she said she support us, she cannot move on it, and she is waiting to see the outcome of the lawsuit. She insists her hands are tied. Well, so Anna Sanchez, am I able to make this post public, taking out your names, of course? Please please let me know if I can make that information public, because then I'll just do a video directly to Julie Wan, like I did to Joe Borelli a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's funny. Because, and you know what's even more funny is I get told that, I think it's a wrestler, they keep saying when they call his office, he said he's still reading it. I'm like, okay, it's 2 lines. I'm like, what does he read 1 letter every other week?
And then we have put on your to-do list. You have a to-do list running somewhere?
I do have a to-do list running.
Okay, we need to do those posters again.
Which posters? Oh, the big
3-foot
posters.
posters. We never went back to the 3-foot posters.
Actually, somebody did deliver it, but they wouldn't.
I know, but you and I were gonna do them, so we need to go back to that. Put that on your list.
I got it.
Marcia says, someone on the page asked about possible actions on Labor Day at the parade. We've been thinking about that. I'm not going to discuss that here, but Marcia, I will call you probably tomorrow, or you call me tomorrow. Let's we're actually on that same line of what we're thinking. So
Right. You know, we got people watching, you know. A Bronx Day. Folks must say this thing. We do Queen's Day. Gotta go on a borough tour.
do the cities and the unions have political clout over state and federal politicians like they do for the city politicians? Well, Gerald, we were just talking about that beforehand, because there is a Democratic fundraiser that's going to be held at John Doe's on the Water by Kent Avenue in Brooklyn. And of course, it's on the water. It's like a Russo's on the Bay type of restaurant where the entire side of the restaurant is glass and it faces the water. And it's on Kent Avenue. And I said, oh, well, we could protest outside and we could do a caravan or a fleet of boats with, you know, big signs with gigantic letters saying pass intro 1099 city council. That might be interesting. So that's why I asked if anyone has a boat. And I get on the video, Michelle's like, why are you asking for people for boats? And I said, it's not a bad reason. It's a good reason. I was thinking outside the box. I thought we could protest with the fleet of boats in front of John Doe's. And
I am the voice of reason.
shut up. You
Yeah,
burst
I
my
know.
bubble.
Shut up. Right.
So yeah, I was just asking. But don't worry. I think we might do like a protest. I don't know. Maybe we all meet in the city on your boats and circle the Statue of Liberty. I don't know, with big gigantic signs. Protect Medicare, protect New York City retirees. Is Michelle frozen? Michelle's frozen. Michelle, you froze.
Harriet, you.
You keep freezing.
Yeah.
To clarify my earlier comment about sending letters to members who are getting complacent and waiting for results, we need to stay active. And yes, I'm well aware of that, John. I mean, we're well aware. Pop Charlie, 7/26 Wednesday night, a UFT member questioned Councilmember Julie Wan about our bill and made her squirm. It was a neighborhood meeting about safety concerns. I don't think she expected the question. Well, Pop Charlie, I think you were at the same meeting as now I forget her name, but yeah, before. And I read the question. You guys are crazy.
So Stevie Showtime goes, I wonder how much it would cost for an advertising vote like they have on billboard trucks.
Do they have that?
See?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. And then Michelle was telling me like there's going to be like a Coast Guard perimeter or some shit. I'm like, what?
Oh God, I said the police will probably have the boats out over
Now
there.
we need to know, like, is there going to be like a water perimeter around John Doe's? I got no idea. But it's a question.
Right.
So if there are any retired police from the Marine unit, give me a call, please.
So I only said that because it's gonna be high profile people over there, that's why.
Well, the
But
highest
listen-
profile person is the governor. I don't really think, I don't know. I think you're
Oh, listen, they're charging 5,000 to. and
$50,000 a ticket.
Right, and $50,000 a ticket. Right, and Hakeem Jeffries is gonna be there too.
Yeah. Paula Vaughn, I just sent an email to Justin Brown, and he's the councilman from my district. I urge him to support our fight. Well, it was very funny because he sent me an email the other day going, your members are asking me why I'm not meeting with you. I said, I highly doubt they're asking you why you're not meeting with me. I don't think I've actually brought your name up in a really long time, but okay.
Yeah, see, Mary Ann Dorian said Harbor Patrol will get launched.
Who said that?
Mary Ann Dorian. See, I told you.
How many co-sponsors does our bill need to qualify for a hearing? I don't really know, but we want to get to 34 and all we have is 14.
Oh, yeah, look. Anyone else besides Marsha Biederman planning to see if Lincoln Wrestler shows up at the Brooklyn Borough Hall Green Market tomorrow? I think it's 9 to 10:30. It's on the page. There you go. So all you Brooklynites,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can read the bill to him since, he's still studying it.
Rent a charter boat with speakers. That's a
I'm
great
laughing,
idea,
Tom.
Tom. I have no idea. So now that you know my idea, for crazy as you think it is, if anyone has an idea of being able to do it, it is Monday night at John Doe's on Kent Avenue from, I think, 6 to 9.
I think they're telling us to get off because everybody's like, please get some rest. I guess we look it.
That's the nice way of saying you look like crap, go to bed.
No, listen, I know. We've had a rough week. I've had a rough 3 weeks.
But the problem is you guys will stay up late. I'll go zonk out. I'm zonking out now, but you'll stay up late working in bed with your laptop.
Linda Zuckermelli, and I loved how Arthur Schwartz called Marianne the top authority on Medicare Advantage being forced on us. I thought that was quite funny too. But that's probably why Henry and Michael and Harry and Anthony and Sean don't want me in the room, because we make them look stupid. I think the restaurant has soundproof windows. That's why signs would be better. Big signs.
Yeah, but if it's in the evening, you wouldn't see the signs. You'd need lighting. So that's why a boat with lights would be good.
Had a luncheon with my retirees Wednesday, and we talked about fighting the map and how all must donate to our group. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Don Ho, that big lit up truck would work. Well, I'd have to get that truck on a boat, and I don't think that's going to happen. Rent the Goodyear blimp.
How about we get the fireworks guys to set off fireworks?
But that doesn't set, it would have to be one of those things like where there's like 1 million drones that fly like they did in the Olympics that spells out, intro 1099. Who would do that? I don't know. John Pinard is a DJ. Get him to hook up to the charter boat obnoxiously with speakers and lights. And with my luck, John Pinard would get arrested for doing that in the middle at
I know,
night
right?
on the water. And I wouldn't be there to
that
bail his ass out of jail. That'd be my fault. Regarding boats, exciting idea, but be aware of unexpected seasickness. Well, Laura, I don't think, just put your head over the water. I mean, over the rail. What can I tell you? You'll feed the fish. On August 27th, Brighton Beach Jubilee will be held, and there are Congress people and council people there. Diane, get us a poster or a flyer for that, and whatever image, send it to us and we'll post it. The restaurant is on Kent Street, but it is facing the water, Don. It is literally on the water. It's like Russo's on the bay. It's on the street on one side and on the water on the other. Marjorie Velasquez and Oswald Felice will be at Boston Road on August 1st at 1 to 2:30 to discuss lantern flies. All right, everyone. So there's another one. So put on your calendars, August 1st from 1 to 2:30. Go see Oswald Felice and Marjorie Velasquez. Those are two more council members that are not on our bill. Bring signs and posters and go to their event. And when they tell you that the bill's illegal, tell them no, it's not. And I think we probably need to do something to attack that, because that they're just so lame at this point. They cannot put it in writing. So you all are aware. The city council has not in any terms, in any way, not in a memo, not in an email, not in a text message, not in mental telepathy, not in anything. Secret decoded messages, nothing. Secret squirrel under any cone of silence. Has anyone ever told us what their objections are in writing to this bill? They basically just told us when we met with their lawyer back in, what was that, February, March, that the bill is illegal, but they couldn't tell us how. And they wouldn't put it in writing. And we keep telling the council members to put it in writing, and they won't. Which means if they're not willing to put their name on it, guess what? It's not illegal. The other thing you should all know, since we're very good at educating everybody, 12-126 was passed in 1967. New York City collective bargaining law and the Taylor law were passed in 66. Amending the administrative code has happened over a dozen times by the city council since it was legislated by the city council. So when they tell you it's illegal, it is not. We're also going to post a flyer, I will work on that this weekend, that there are several Board of Collective Bargaining, BCB or OCB cases, in which specifically state it is a mandatory subject of bargaining for a union to negotiate healthcare for their active unit members, as well as for their unit members' futures. But a union has absolutely no jurisdiction to negotiate for a current retiree. Period. Hard stop. We are not in their units. They cannot negotiate for us. It would be like them saying we can negotiate for the people in China. We can't do that. They can't do that. Lisa Lauren says, I just Googled the blimp cost. It's $500 to $3,000 a flight, depending upon the location. But how high up would it have to be? Lisa, call them and tell me how high that they have to fly, because I think blimps have to fly pretty high. I don't think they can fly over that location where anyone would see them, but you could let me know that, knowing that the location is John Doe's on Kent Avenue. So that's a cool idea. And that blimp comes out of the airport in Farmingdale. Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2. So that's the story. They're lying. There's really nothing else about that. Put little tags on the cockroaches in the restaurant. Oh my God, Dawn, you're hysterical. I think you need to have sleep, Dawn. Just looked it up. New York banned floating signs in 2019. Of course they did. Oh my God, that's crazy. Well,
Janice said the restaurant is near the bridge, so there's a lot of restrictions also. All
yeah,
right.
it is near the bridge.
Right, so that's what I figured. But anyway, oh yeah.
Can the group send a certified letter to 37 sponsors of all the bullshit lies they keep on repeating so they can't use the excuses? Yeah, I guess we could do that too. Can we get a few drones to carry a banner or two right there, kind of like the planes? Unless someone shoots them down, I don't know.
Yeah.
Drain the river and send. Okay, now you're definitely smoking something, Don. Now he thinks we're Jesus. Let's part the river.
That was Moses.
Moses did that too.
Moses. Right.
I'm a bad Catholic. Yeah. What's this? Let's part the river, part the sea. All right, we're going to bed. All right. You guys got anything else?
Money,
Oh, yeah, Carol.
money.
Send your donations.
We've got lawyers, we've got the case coming up, as Mary Ann explained, and let me say it like I say it all the time. The lawyers do not work for free. The lawyers, all of us do.
Yeah, we work for
But-
free. We
right.
work.
We work for free.
Right, right. And thankfully, we don't get paid the rate, that a professional would get paid, or there'd be no money. But no, seriously, the lawyers submit bills. We check the bills over to make sure everything is correct. It always is. And then we got to pay the bills. We've got to pay the lawyers. No two ways about it.
Right.
And to do that,
Um,
we need money coming in.
So, and you got a couple of options, so donate.
So Mary
Uh,
says the new MTA contract states that members agree that they will be in Medicare Advantage when they retire. Would this not be a way to make sure future retirees are in MA? Yes, that actually is a horrible, horrible thing for a union to do. I can't even believe they actually did that. They really did that. I need to see that contract.
the MTA
After all, they
contract.
ratified the
Yeah.
contract when they were working. This would not apply to current retirees, as they never ratified such a provision. That to me is that basically will kill the labor movement. Once their members start suffering from issues from those Medicare Advantage plans and realizing that their own unions did that to them. And of course, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen for,
If somebody could get their hands on that contract, send it to the org email, so take a look at that. But anyway, thank you to the moderators for doing such a great job.
Always.
We've been, I've been off the grid, we've been off the grid this week, been all crazy, running all over the place. Thank you guys out there. Without you, we wouldn't be here. As always. Thank you for your support, your donations and everything else. Thank you for being patient.
all right, guys. So we're going to call it a night.
Right. You guys enjoy your weekend, and again, we hopefully will have some news for you. I don't think you have any homework this weekend, but again, call your council people, all that nonsense, And then we'll have stuff for you next week to do. All right.
Yes, we will definitely do that.
Again, take a breath. Everything's good in the world. Hopefully, at the end of this week, the universe was not nice to me this week, but I think everything's gonna be good.
You didn't bring your magic 8-ball.
No, I did not bring my magic 8-ball and travel. I could barely get enough stuff in my backpack, so that had to stay home. But that's okay. So,
No, there was a comment in there. I'm just gonna, because I can't find where it went, I'm going to
that was it.
post the event in the chat. Dave, you like hijacked the thread when you shut the comments down. You can't do that while we're still in it. I posted the event in the thread. You'll see my message. It's it'll say I gave to Kings County Democratic Committee. It'll say in there what click that link and it'll show you the date and time of the event. It'll show you the flyer. Trust me, if you're a poor retiree like us, you won't be able to afford to go because it starts at $5,000 and it goes to $50,000 a ticket. But the information for the event is there. So we were trying to think if maybe we would protest outside or do a boat protest out on the water, but that's the information that you're looking for. I just can't find where that thread went now that it was moved, but Anyway, have a great night. Have a great weekend. Thank you to everyone for everything that you do, and we will see you
Yes.
Monday.
Thank you, Joe, for posting everything, and I think we got everybody, right?
Yup.
I'd say good night, Gracie.
Good
Good
night.
night, Gracie.
Ciao,
See you
people.
later, guys. Ciao.